aka Bullets YouTube channel.
Hurry up, now tell us why you're here.
This rookie is Johnny Spinner, and this other rookie is Brendan Cargan. And here's another rookie. This is Scott Windows in the number 22. You'll figure out where Ward Burnton went later. And this rookie is Travis Draftville. And this rookie in the number 10 is Scott Rims. And in the number 32 is Bobby Hamilton Jr. And as I said last video, Brian Vickers is a rookie in the 2004 Piston Cup season. Replacing Bill Racelot will be Casey Corner, who will go full-time in the number 9. Dave Laney finally has a new look after over 20 years in the number 23. Greg Beeple has a new sponsor with National Guard. And Kenny Wheelhouse has a new look in the number 78. Ward Burnton is now the number 0, which is why he's not the number 22 anymore. Bill Racelot will be going part-time in the number 91. Also, Casey Cartwood retired at the end of last season. And this is Ricky Carvin, who has a new look and is attempting a part-time schedule this season. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has this new look for the Florida 500. Pancake-Shiftright Racing has 8 cars? How does any team have 8 cars? And these are their 8 cars. Rush Racing also has 6 cars, which they added Ernie Gearson, probably because Rush Racing has some good engines. Chevrolet Motorsports has Brian Vickers in the 25. Tony Gassworth and Bobby Carboni will be racing full-time in 2004. Ricky Carvin and Donald Morphy will both have a part-time schedule this season. Reverham Motorsports has these 4 cars, but the Anti-Chick Hicks team is the same as last season. Blaster Charger Racing is also the same as last season, but it was so uneventful that I forgot to include them last season. Alloy Wilson Racing also has everything being the same as last season, with these 4 cars. The Pit Stops Revolting Crew and Speedson Racing are the same as last season. Richard Chillpaints Racing will be adding Johnny Spinner to the team. ECS2 Motorsports has Ken Schrader, Ponchi Wipeout, and Joe Brakecheck for the 2004 season. Chip Carnassi Racing and Eli Motors Racing are the same as last season, but there's a new team, Bill Drivis Racing, who will have these 2 cars, Dave Laney and Scott Windows. DEI now only has Dale Jr. and Michael Cartrip. Hopefully they can do well. The Crazy 8s team is the same 2 cars as last season, same with the Wood Brothers Racing. And will the King ever have a teammate? David Height's car, Landon Leakspill, and Clint Speed will be attempting a part-time schedule this season. Greg Beeple will start at pole position and lead to lap 6, where he'd lose the lead to the King. The King would lead all the way to lap 13, where he'd lose the lead to the rookie, Scott Windows, who will lead for 2 laps before Chuck Hicks is 6th as of lap 15, where he wrecks Scott Windows the leader, Jeff Burnton, and Mark Carton. Hollingus will take the lead on lap 16 and lead for the next 9 laps before he loses the lead to Tony Gassworth, who would lead all the way to lap 59, where he'd lose the lead to Jeff Gorvette. He'd lead for the next 8 laps before he'd lose the lead to Ruby Easy Oaks. He would only be on lap 68 because he'd be passed by Kevin Shiftright, who would lead all the way to lap 111 before the King would take the lead from him, leading until lap 142. But then Murray Clutchburn would take the lead from him, leading for 30 laps. But then Casey Corner is out because of an engine failure. But Terry Carboni would take the lead on lap 173. But Eugene Pomereski is 26th as of lap 173, where he wrecks Ken Schrader. Well, of course this happens. Dale Earnhardt Jr. would take the lead all the way to lap 201, where Chuck Hicks is 15th as of that lap, where he wrecks Ryan Newcar, Chuck Armstrong, Billy Oil Changer, Scott Rims, Robbie Gorvette, Jamie McCarry, Sterling Carlin, Michael Cartrip, Brian Vickers, and Johnny Blamer. Why? But the King will take the lead for just a couple laps before Dale Earnhardt Jr. would take the lead all the way to lap 247, where he'd lose the lead to Tony Gassworth, who would lead all the way to lap 263. where he'd lose the lead to the King. The King would only lead for 5 laps before he'd lose the lead to Hollingus, who would lead all the way to lap 293, where Check-X would lead for 5 laps. But then, Todd Marcus is second as of lap 298, where he wrecks Check-X. Hooray! He's out! But Todd Marcus would take the lead for 6 laps before Hollingus would take the lead back and lead for 20 laps before the number 20 car, Tony Gasworth, would take the lead from him, leading until lap 331, where Todd Marcus would retake the lead, leading until lap 347, where Tony Gasworth would retake the lead from him. On lap 351, Todd Marcus would retake the lead all the way to lap 368, where Tony Gasworth once again takes the lead. But on lap 379, Ernie Gearson would take the lead. He'd lead until lap 383, where Eugene Karbareski would take the lead for just 3 laps. But Todd Marcus is 7th as of lap 386, where he wrecks Krusty Roder and Ernie Gearson. Dale Earnhardt Jr. would take the lead until lap 416, where Matt Karzith would take the lead from him, leading for 9 laps before Tony Gasworth would take the lead from him, leading for 12 laps before Kevin Karvik would take the lead for 10 laps. The car that would take the lead from him is the King. And the King would lead all the way to lap 458, where Hollingus would take the lead again, leading until lap 489, where Tony Gasworth would take the lead from him. He'd only lead 3 laps before Dale Earnhardt Jr. would lead the final 9 laps to win the 2004 Florida 500. And here is the top 20 of the 2004 Florida 500. I almost forgot Bob Cutlass's commentary on the end of the 2004 Florida 500. The legacy continues. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the 2004 Florida 500.
Remember to press the notifications button, which goes ring, ring, ring after you press it. And lightning strikes back, and that's as if you subscribed, of course. And thank you for watching this entire video.
The 2004 Piston Cup Races 2 to 35 Part 1 will be out soon enough.